Hello everybody, my name is Kazu. Nice to meet you. This is part of my 365-day daily challenge, speaking English for 30 minutes straight using TOEFL style questions, no script, just spontaneous answers, just like the real exam. Let's get started. How's it going? 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 Today is day 188. I already passed the turning point じゃなくて I already passed the past the halfway point だっけな halfway point かな the halfway point I guess the halfway point yes the halfway point yeah I've done it up to the halfway point tomorrow is the halfway point or something like that I said yeah anyway I already passed the halfway point of this challenge so and today is day 188 to some extent yeah let's review to some extent you can understand the pros and cons the good points and the bad points, the pros and cons. the pros and the cons. What are the pros? What are the cons? Good points, bad points. Yeah, so you can understand the pros and cons of your country only when you compare it with other countries. You can understand the pros and cons of your country only when you compare it with other countries. I've also heard that the question was do grades accurately reflect the student's ability? I've also heard that tests are one of the best ways to help you remember what you've learned. I got off topic, but yeah, I've heard that. I've heard that the tests are the best ways, one of the best ways to help you remember what you've learned, what you've learned, what you've learned, what you've learned, you've learned. When you are taking a test, you try hard to remember the material. Yeah, this is the reason why tests help you remember you've learned is that when you are taking a test, you are trying to remember the material. So it is good for that process helps you. The process is important for remembering something, like a neuro something. It strengthens your neural systems, something like that. The process is very important for remembering things. The process is very important for remembering things. The second reason is that grades are the same standard for everyone. The second reason is that grades are the same standard for everyone. The second reason is that grades are the same standard for everyone. Yeah, I wanted to say fair for everyone. Tests, grades are fair for everyone, but maybe this expression is better. The second reason is that grades are the standard point, the same standard. Grades are the same standard for everyone. So unless teachers cheat when grading, every student is treated fairly when it comes to grades. In terms of grades, students are treated fairly in terms of grades when it comes to grades. $10. It's been 10 minutes already. Great. Like voice input system. ChatGPT's voice input system didn't work. You know, ChatGPT's voice input system didn't work. So sometimes it happens. Like I pushed the recording button, and it looks like it is recording, but I push the stop button, it doesn't dictate my speaking. I don't know why this happens, but sometimes this error happens. Sometimes ChatGPT's voice input system doesn't work. Yeah, so this time it didn't work. So like I pushed the recording button and I pressed the record button. I pressed the record button and it looks like it's recording. But when I press the stop button, it doesn't transcribe what I said. What I said. It didn't record what I said. It didn't transcribe. Transcribe what I said. I don't know why this happens, but sometimes this error happens. When I press the, let me explain this from the beginning. This time, ChatGPT's voice input system didn't work. These errors sometimes occurs. So I press the record button and it looks like it is recording. But when I press the stop button, it doesn't transcribe what I said. So this error happened earlier. Anyway. I pressed the record button. I pressed the record. I pressed, not push. Why is press? Why is push wrong? Why push? Why can't I use push instead of press? Oh, so native speakers use press for buttons. Push the door, push the cart, push someone. Like this this action, for this action. The press is like this. Okay, I understood. Press, press, press. Press the button. Press a button. Press a key. Press the record button. Press the power button. Press the power button. Button. So I I've said push the recording button all the time, but I should change the verb. So I should say press the record button, press the stop button. So like sometimes it is hard for me to start this challenge because I am sometimes lazy and I don't have any motivation to do this. So in that situation, there is a tip I always use to start this challenge smoothly. That's just pressing the record button. That's it. So I just press the button. Then it forces me to start this challenge. Yeah, I often use that tip to force me to do it, force myself to do it. Just push. Just press the record button. Just press the record button. Press. So the answer is just do it, Just do it. Even it is only 5 minutes, it's okay. Just do it. So that 5 minutes helps you do more. Like, while doing something, you feel like you wanna do more, do something more, do it more. You wanna do it more. That's my tip. That's a tip. That's a tip. I don't know. So why can't I use push instead of press? Or why push is wrong? Sometimes it is hard for me to start this. Sometimes it's hard for me to start this challenge because I'm lazy and I don't have any motivation to do it. In those situations, I use a trick. Tip is okay though. In those situations, I use a trick that helps me start this challenge smoothly. It helps me start this challenge smoothly. And the trick is just to press the record button. That's it. The trick is just to press. The trick is just to press the record button. That's it. I just press the button and then it forces me to start this challenge. I often use that tip to force myself to do it. I just pressed the record button. Just press the record button. Okay, great. Why is it wrong? Why is this wrong? Why can't I do that? Why is not okay? Why is not okay? Why is not okay to use pressed? Why is it not okay to use push instead of a press? Why is it not okay? Why is it not okay? Why can't I? Why can't I? Why can't I use push instead of press? Because push means like this action. Push, push. But press is like this action. Okay. Great. 22, it's been 22 minutes. It's been 22 minutes. 80 minutes left. I watched Stranger Things, a new season of Stranger. How can I say? I watched a new season of. I watched a new season of Stranger Things. I actually didn't like season 4 because it was too complex to understand, and like lots of characters, so I can't remember who is who. So I didn't like season 4, but I no reason, but the reputation was really good. I've heard that, so I decided to try it. But it was good, actually. It was good, and I was thrilled a little bit, and I can't wait to watch the last part of the season. It is releasing on December, so I'm looking forward to it, actually. Yeah, and I didn't clearly remember previous on Stranger Things, but I was able to enjoy it, so I think I underestimated the new season, but that was good. Actually, it's not this season is not very, it's not so complex. complicated about the story. So it was easy to understand. It was easy for me to understand. That's why I liked it, and I also I watched each episode without subtitles in the English audio, and maybe my listening skills has been improving, so I was almost able to understand the whole story in English. So that also made me happy because I could feel I had been improving my English my English listening skills had been improving. So that's why I was able to enjoy it. I watched the new season of Stranger Things. The new season. I watched the new season of Stranger Things. I actually didn't like season 4 because it was too complex and there were so many characters that I couldn't remember who was who. Who was whoかそうか too complex. It was too complex. And there were so many characters that I couldn't remember who was who. But no reason, but I heard the new season had a very good reputation. I heard the new season had a really good reputation, so I decided to give it a try. Give it a try. Okay. So actually I didn't intend to watch the new season of Stranger Things, but I changed my mind because I heard it had a good reputation. So I decided to give it a try. So, and it was actually good. It was even a little thrilled. I was thrilled. I was even a little thrilled. I can't wait to watch the last part of the season, which is coming out in December. Oh, not on December, sorry. On is for a day, right? So I'm looking forward to it. I didn't clearly remember what happened in the previous season. I was still able to enjoy it. I wanted to say I didn't clearly remember what happened in the previous whole previous story. In the whole previous story. How can I say that? Maybe yeah. What happened in the previous seasons? Oh yeah. I think I underestimated this new season, but it turned out to be good. It turned out to be good, to be great. It turned out to be great. Actually, this season isn't very complicated, so it was easier for me to understand. That's why I liked it. And I also watched each episode without subtitles, and I also watched every episode in English without subtitles. I've always watched every episode in English with subtitles. So this time I made it harder for me. I was almost able to understand the whole story. I think my listening skills have been improving. I was almost able to understand the whole story. That made me happy because I could feel that I had been improving. I guess that's why I was able to enjoy it even more. I'm feeling very higher than recent days. I didn't intend to watch the new I didn't intend to watch the new season. Actually, I hadn't intended to. I hadn't intended to watch the new season 3. I changed my mind because I heard it had a good reputation. I decided to give it a try. That's why I decided to give it a try. Thank you so much. Bye bye.